do have a little PowerPoint presentation here, and this will certainly help me from going off script. So we're going to talk today about elevating leadership skills and the Emerging Leader Fellowship. Next slide. So today we're going to go over our overview of NurseTRUST, what our Emerging Leader Fellowship program comprises of. We're going to talk about the fellowship journey through reflections from emerging leaders and fellow alums, and also mentors who play a part in the fellowship. And we'll end with questions and answers and a little wrap up. So any question that you have, please write it down and we will be happy to try to answer at the end. Next slide, please. All right, so presenters today would be I say partner in crime, June Chan, who is the co-chair of the fellowship committee. And then myself, I'm Kelly Stamp. I am the co-chair of the fellowship committee as well. We have Christine Lee here, who is on the NurseTRUST Fellowship Committee and an Emerging Leader Fellow. Yolande Nozel, who is a NurseTRUST Emerging Leader Fellow as well. Mary Lou DeLon Cientos, hopefully I said that correctly, NurseTRUST board member and Emerging Leader Fellowship.
Daily on Science.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, next slide, please.
So I'll do this.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I'm June Chan, and so let me just start by sharing with you who NurseTRUST is. NurseTRUST was created in 2017 by the alums of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Executive Nurse Fellowships program. So with over 200 executive nurse fellows, the alums wanted to harness the wisdom and the skills of the fellows to continue to identify and shape nurse leaders into the next generation. We didn't want everything that we learned from the ENF program to just go poof. So since our formation, we decided that it was wise to expand our membership just beyond the executive nurse fellows to include nurse leaders across the country who aspires to our mission and vision. So as you can see this slide, our mission is to inspire and to enable nurse leaders to grow, collaborate, and transform health equity, and healthcare. And our vision is to amplify nurse leaders' impact on health equity, and health care. Next slide. Maybe. Thank you. And we invite you to join us if you're not already a member of NurseTRUST. We are a connected and collaborative national nursing organization with nurse leaders across diverse domains of practice, academia, public health policy, business, etc. We create and promote networks to inspire and enable the advancement of nurse leaders during our annual summits. We have trusted conversations, webinars, and virtual gatherings. The NurseTRUST E3 Fellowship Program is designed as a continuum of series of leadership development opportunities for nurses in all settings and sectors. So E3 represents 3 levels of program: emerging, experience, and executive. And it targets varying levels of nursing leaders, from frontline leaders, mid-career leaders, and executive leaders. So the uniqueness of the program is that the programs are customized and personalized for each individual fellow. And the curriculum is combined with self-directed, individualized leadership development activities and leverages the knowledge and skills and experience and talents of NurseTRUST executive members as they serve as our mentors. And we currently utilize both in-person and virtual methods. So the fellowship program is currently focused on emerging leaders, and Kelly will share with you in more detail about the Emerging Leadership Program.
Next slide, please. Great. So the Emerging Leader Fellowship, our target audience are frontline managers and nursing supervisors anybody who's first-time manager or individual who is preparing to transition into their first level managerial role across the field of nursing, including clinical and academia and public health. So thinking about emerging leaders, especially since the pandemic, we've had a lot of leaders, we've had a lot of folks move into a leadership role without formal training. So this is where our emerging leaders program can help those folks. What's included in this Emerging Leader Fellowship? It's an 8-month interactive leadership program. Registration for the in-person 2025 Nurse Summit is included within that fellowship. The fellow will receive personalized mentored guidance throughout the program. They are assigned a mentor. And there are like-minded nurse leaders within the selected cohort in similar phase of their leadership development, and they're across all sectors of the United States within nursing. So you might see some fellowship programs that are specifically focused on academic leaders or hospital-run leaders, or we focus on we want to help every nurse leader in every sector. The fellows have access to special programs like Trusted Conversations, which provides a unique opportunity to expand knowledge while connecting with a network of very accomplished nurse leaders in, again, every sector of nursing practice. And our Trusted Conversations are extremely popular. People love our Trusted Conversations. It's where we can just really talk with people and leaders around the country about topics and areas that are really floating to the top for us as leaders. And then there's 1-year complimentary NurseTRUST membership. Next slide. Some of the core competencies that our emerging leaders learn is self-awareness. As a leader, how are we self-aware of how we're showing up each and every day? Learning to be agile. What are our communication patterns? What are the positives about our communication patterns? Where are ways that we can help shore that up? And thinking about our blind spots. How do we become political savvy within our particular organization, regardless of what sector it's in? And then how do we influence others to produce the best outcomes? What attributes do we have that help to motivate others as a leader? The curriculum is delivered in partnership with the Center for Creative Leadership, which CCL, many of you are familiar with. They are a world-renowned leadership organization. And we partner with them through virtual and in-person methods. And we combine the curriculum with a self-directed, individualized leadership development through activities and mentoring. The program cost for the emerging leaders is $5,000. And the fellow would be responsible for travel to the annual summit and for the lodging at the annual summit, which will be held next year, March 23rd through the 25th, 2025 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Some fellows do seek funding from their employer or organization, and I would say many or most do. Next slide, please. And to just give you a rundown of what this fellowship really comprises of, here is kind of a quick and dirty chart for you to look at. Within the first month, we do planning and pre-work. And so you'll have a 1-hour CCL kickoff. And typically June and I are there as well. And then our partner CCL, Shelley Thompson, is usually there to welcome and build the connection between the mentors and the mentees. And also we talk with the mentees about a key leadership challenge. And that's what you see there is a KCL. So each mentee is assigned to do a key leadership challenge and to set their learning goals. And then there's a 2-hour CCL mentor training. We have a lot of mentors that stay with us year after year and know our program well, but we also bring new mentors in. So if there are new mentors, they will take part in this 2-hour CCL mentor training. And if they are reoccurring mentors, they are welcome to attend that as well. And then in the second month, It's a Nurse Trust Summit and then this session. So CCL facilitates a mentee session in person for 4 hours at the summit. And then there's also a facilitated mentor-mentee connection activity that can occur and face-to-face mentoring meeting. Again, a lot of time at the summit to really bring that mentor and mentee together, also to have some of that in-person connection within the programming. Months 3 through 5, there's live online kickoff and frontline leader impact sessions. So we do a live online introduction and cohort development. For 6 weeks, the mentee is in constant contact with CCL to do their frontline leadership online program. And that consists of modules and then discussion boards and online instructions that they can connect with CCL on. And then they also have scheduled mentor calls with their mentor to talk about what they're learning in their leadership, strategic abilities to be able to navigate their world in leadership. And then there's a 1-hour CCL mentor check-in. Months 6 through 7, that's where we have several live trusted conversations, and we ask our mentees to attend at least 2 throughout their program. And then also the mentor-mentee calls are continuing through these months as well. And the final month, the mentee will do their Key Leadership Challenge, KCL presentation. Whatever it is that they signed up for to do at the very beginning, they're now going to have an opportunity to present that to their peers, their mentors, and the fellowship committee. It's a 3-hour CCL facilitated presentation on each person's key leadership journey. And then we follow up by asking the mentee to present their key leadership challenge at the summit, the next year's summit in 2026. Next slide. So benefits to participants. You gain a picture of your personal strengths and challenges, achieve skills on how to listen, speak, and write clearly, and be consistent for maximum impact as a leader. Learn to integrate techniques for influencing others effectively to gain cooperation of those that you work with so that you can move your initiatives forward. And design strategies for inspiring commitment and building strong working relationships.
Which we're very successful with right
now. And we also, the fellow will develop long-term leadership growth plan that's actionable and measurable. The mentor, they work with their mentor through on how to solve an existing leadership problem in their workplace and by identifying the key leadership challenge. And so let me say this as a clarification point. Each mentee is assigned a NurseTRUST mentor who's external to their institution. We also ask the mentee to identify an internal sponsor of their institution so that they get kind of the wheels greased per se. If they have a key leadership challenge, how does someone help them to move along in their organization with that key leadership challenge? But their mentor is someone who's outside and they can talk with and have real conversation with. Also, the fellow has an opportunity to share and disseminate their work and within their key leadership challenge, and they disseminate that through NurseTRUST avenues. Now, benefits to the organization who actually funds the fellow. So if you are someone on the call today and you're thinking, what would I get as an organization by sponsoring a fellow? You get someone that's really better prepared as an emerging leader. So the person you send for the fellowship, they grow within their leadership abilities, and we're getting some really important feedback from our mentees and our fellows, how much they feel like they've grown within their leadership skills by the end of the program. The return on investment is that the participants will learn from and develop ongoing relationships with other new leaders across the country. It's a great networking. You make friends for life in this type of a fellowship, which is wonderful. Brings new ideas and innovations into their particular organization for which they work and the healthcare system. The other advantage is better recruitment. Investing in staff leadership development, it pays you back in dividends. Encouraging well-prepared nurses to join the organization, your organization, and increase the quality and safety and equity of the care that they provide. And also solving critical leadership problems within an organization with expert guidance and consultation. So I think that there's real benefits for the fellow who's taking the program, but also the organization that's sponsoring them. Next slide, please. Now, there's some program frequently asked questions. Tracy, am I still on my slides, or do I need I don't want to take June's spotlight here.
No, you can continue on here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so some of the questions that we get frequently we have here, and we're asked, what is unique about the NurseTRUST E3 fellowship experience? And to answer that would be, it's designed for high potential nurse leaders who are preparing to move into their first leadership role, those who are early in their leadership journey. And we also have fellows that know that they want to be a leader, but they're not in the leadership role yet, also are in our Emerging Leaders program. So they could be transitioning to a new setting, new context, and they utilize the Center for Creative Leadership and our fellowship to help move them forward. How many applicants are chosen and what's the application process? We choose 24 applicants each year. And the process, there's two parts. So the candidate has to submit a completed application and their CV, a letter of support, and the letter of support can come from a current NurseTRUST member or a nurse leader in their organization. The semifinalist will then have an interview with members of NurseTRUST Fellowship Review Committee. So first, fill out the application and provide your other paperwork, your CV, and your letter of recommendation. And then we go through all of the letters that we get and the applications, and we pick semifinalists who will go through an interview process. Next slide. We're often asked, can I keep my full-time job and still participate in this program? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. We want you to continue in your role. So this is an 8-month fellowship that's designed for these types of positions. And we don't expect folks to give up their position in order to take a fellowship. So this is the beauty of having a hybrid program. Part of it's in person, part of it's online, and is doable to do that around your work schedule. Again, this leadership project that is done within the organization, we hope that it helps move your organization forward. You're allowed to really apply your new leadership skills in doing your key leadership challenge. So what are the estimated time commitments associated with the program? Well, it's designed to offer flexibility. The leaders in this program are expected to attend all the program meetings that we have and the virtual webinar programs. The mentor experience will provide opportunities to learn from senior nurse executives. And we're very clear about where we really want mentors to show up at the meetings. As you saw on the schedule, it identified when our mentors were going to be actually attending meetings with our mentees. But for our mentees, we ask that they certainly attend the summit and they attend their online sessions with CCL and they attend their NurseTRUST meetings. But everything is given way in advance so that you can plan for these activities. Time commitments for the meetings and attending the NurseTRUST Summit, which is in March. All right, so timeline for the 24-25 cohort. We are in the process right now of accepting applications. All the applications are due on November the 11th, 2024. So if you're thinking about applying, please meet that deadline. November and December of 2024, that's when we select the semifinal applicants, and they'll be invited to also do a virtual interview with members of the program review committee. And then in December of 2024, the finalists will be notified who are accepted into the program. February of 2025 is when we do our first fellow program kickoff, and that is virtual. And then we launch cohort number 3 just prior to the summit occurring, which is March 23rd through 25th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And again, cohort number 3, we want them there at the summit, and attendance is required at the summit. So when you sign up and become a semifinalist and get accepted, know to put that on your calendar because we need you to be there. All right, so I think this is June's part right here.
So we're going to have Christine, Elaine, and Mary Lou share their experiences with the program. Christine and Elaine are current fellows, and Mary Lou is a mentor. She's actually Christine's mentor. So let's maybe bring up, should we start with Christine?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, depending where you are. My name is Christine Lee, and I'm excited to be here today to talk about my experience being an E3 fellow this year. My manager and I were talking about the areas that I wanted to grow and continue to grow in terms of a professional development scale. And I have a varied background, not traditional in terms of the trajectory that nurse leaders typically find themselves in. And so there were some pieces that some other trainings, typical leadership trainings, I didn't feel were adequately providing. And so due to the intersectionality of my background coming from public health and nonprofit into inpatient hospital operations type of area, NurseTRUST was really appealing due to all the levels that Dr. Stamp just talked about, from academia to policy, public health, etc. And having that varied background and being able to be connected and linked with such the diverse workforce that we are as nurses, it was really exciting to me. This fellowship program really did provide not only the structure needed to complete a fellowship program as busy individuals, but also provided just various layers that I really appreciated. One was having to really be able to apply these principles that you're learning within CCL, or the Creative Center for Living, the principles, and identifying a current leadership project that you are working on, and being really transparent and uplifting as to where your pebbles in your shoes might be in terms of your own growth and how you might lead that. I felt like the comments that I received, as well as the resources that I were able to kind of foster and connect with my fellow cohort, really did help me to gain clarity as to what areas I really needed to hone in for my own growth. And I am seeing results of it, and really excited to see where we're going to be able to spread in 2025 with this big undertaking that the team has been doing this year. So I'm seeing the fruits of that. And really, the second thing that I would say that the fellowship program has provided me was just a really amazing mentor, Dr. De Leon Seance. We were lucky that she lives, I live in Southern California and she lives in Northern California, and business brought her down. And so we were able to connect in real life several times. And one of those meetings, actually, she invited me to co-present with her at UCLA to talk to incoming nursing leaders and those interested in pursuing their doctorate degree, and talking about our leadership journey and what it means to be a transformational leader within our field. And so it was very humbling and rewarding to really be able to speak to our upcoming leaders who will be taking care of us in the future, and being able to influence and to share our journeys as nurses from various backgrounds and walks of our lives, but be able to really impact and influence our incoming nursing profession. I really honestly feel like if you are a new leader or you want to be in the space and wanting to step up to be a nurse leader, this fellowship will be able to tailor to the areas of growth that you have. And we're all learners. That's one of the great things about being a nurse, and just being really open to all the possibility of growth that we have as opportunities as leaders, as we continue to grow, as we continue to learn about ourselves and how we might be able to make a better impact for our teams and our communities. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
That's great, Christine. Thank you. Just wondering, Kaiser is a large organization. Do you see changes in the organization that right now requires nurses to develop more leadership skills and experiences?
Absolutely. As Dr. Stamp alluded to earlier, COVID has really changed not only who is in the seats right now of leadership, right? We have newer leaders who have not been formally trained, who've been voluntold, who stepped in as the situation needed and found themselves in the shoes of influencing and uncertain. But also healthcare has changed, and how we lead and where nurses are and where nurses need to be to lead. Large organizations such as Kaiser Permanente, that is changing. And I'm very proud to work for an organization that recognizes that nothing about nursing without nursing at the table. And so we are really being able to broaden that and ensure that nurses are at the table. And I need colleagues. I need fellow nurses to stand with me, to be at the tables with me, to advocate for not only our profession, but to continue to advocate for our patients that only nurses can do.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Maybe one final question.
Sure.
Majority of the program is virtual. We do have an on-site meeting at the summit. Tell us your thoughts about the virtual component. Is that effective?
I thought it was effective. We had a pretty large cohort. I think we have 24 in our fellowship program. And I was very lucky to have some colleagues who took the lead to ensure that we as fellows were able to connect throughout the year. We also have the trusted conversations and various webinars, but with my mentor, we are all digital, whether it be text or call or setting up a quick Teams call just to chat and to connect. She has been so gracious with her time and expertise to be just really readily available for me to be able to just touch base, thought partner together and say, can you help me think about this a little bit? Because this is what my old person, my old self would do. And I'm trying to stretch myself into this. What do you think about this tactic and this approach? And so it really does help to have such a great relationship in that way. And we're used to being able to be agile in this virtual space, but I did really appreciate having the in-person time and being able to meet most of these leaders here at the conference. It was in Austin last year, and it was just a remarkable and very memorable event. So I encourage all of you. I have no doubt that 2025 in Charlotte's going to be equally as fabulous.
Thank you, Christine. We'll see you in Charlotte.
I will be there.
So let's have Mary Lou speak next. I read Christine's application, and as I'm reading her application, I'm thinking, I know the perfect mentor for Christine, but Mary Lou had not raised her hand to be a mentor. I called her and I said, Mary Lou, you have to sign up and be a mentor for Christine. You guys are the perfect match. And that's the cool thing about this organization. Even though we are 200 plus strong, we really get to know each other. And members talk about the magic that we have within our organization, and it does exist. And so the magic is, really getting to know each other, our strengths, our weaknesses, and not being afraid to learn together. So it's quite a wonderful journey. So Mary Lou, would you share with
Well,
us?
I do want to begin by thanking you for creating this wonderful match. It was really the goodness of the fit. It was really it was a right match. First of all, the two of us have unique interdisciplinary backgrounds that have promoted us in working uniquely with persons, leaders, parts of our organization that are outside of nursing. And so that part of it really lent itself well to what we were both and how I was able to support Christine. So to begin with, that was also good. I also found that she was equally as flexible as me. So we were able to be nimble enough to meet as needed and to meet when she really needed to meet at the same time. I work in a way that I help the fellows I'm working with, like Christine, to establish goals with timelines and results. And while they're modifiable, I really do want to, make sure that we're results focused, so that while we enjoy our time together, we're not wasting it either. She's a busy person, I'm a busy person, so we try to maximize the time that is available. And I'm always looking for ways to support her expanding her leadership skills and to create more self-confidence, because she's such a bright young woman that she just needs to know that she has the ability. She was chosen for a reason, and she has those superb abilities. And so I always felt that part of my role was to make sure that she understood that she had that potential in her, and she just needed to go for it. And I still feel very much that way. I've also felt very strongly in working with her that I wanted to stretch her a little bit, and that included in having her work with me at this program at UCLA that sort of introduced her to another academic aspect that might be in her future in a way she hadn't thought of. So I was really happy to be able to do that, and to have her have the experience, as she described, of working with future leaders that we were trying to bring into the doctoral program at UCLA. I have really enjoyed being a part of promoting future leaders, future transformative leaders. And we've talked about being a transformative leader in terms of changing a health system, but also in promoting growth over those that she is leading, in creating a new vision and how that is possible, but also understanding that there is the need for transactional leadership, where people have to understand that there are certain elements of a job that needs to be executed, and to help them understand how to go about that, but at the same time grow while they're executing their particular roles. So it's been a really fabulous experience for me, and I'm glad to hear it's been a fabulous experience for Christine too. I think that this fellowship, because it is really focusing on emerging leaders, I think we have really an opportunity to, through the trust and through the fellows that we're working with, is to really make some positive changes in the healthcare system as is so badly needed. Coming out of COVID, we all know what kinds of things we're missing. And hopefully now, with this leadership program in place, we can slowly start to find the right people that can help just transform the healthcare systems, whether it's the systems, the organizations, advocacy programs. However, there needs to be a synergy. And I think because of the quality and the differences in the persons that we are attracting to this program, I think that we are positioned now to be able to move forward in promoting and strengthening the future health of America.
Thank you, Mary Lou. You are a busy woman, and we had a conversation recently. And so how do you find time to be a mentor And what have you gained from this mentorship with Christine?
I have made this a priority. I may not always be attending some of the meetings for some of the reasons that I am a bit, I am pulled in a lot of directions. But however, the fellows themselves are a priority for me. I feel very strong sense of responsibility of giving back to the future generation. And so it is a priority for me to make sure I'm always available and make time for those that I'm working with. And so that's all I can say. It's a priority. As I have said to Christine, when you say yes to something, you have to say no to something else because there's a finite amount of time. And so I have been, saying no to other things because I want to continue for this program to be a priority for me, not just in terms of the infrastructure, which I hope to support now as a member of the board, but also in terms of the future leaders that we are bringing together. So it's a priority for me. If it wasn't a priority, I wouldn't be participating, and that's how I make time.
Thank you, Mary Lou, and thank you for your.
The other thing that I've been that's been an important priority for me, and it's happening in this program, is to promote diversity in leadership, and it very much is happening here.
Yes. And that is one of the goals of NurseTRUST, so that we, basically can have leaders look like the patients that we serve and hopefully the nurses that we serve.
And I want to congratulate you publicly on the Shirley Chater Award you're about to get. And I just want to say I really appreciate the hard work and the goodness of the matches that you've produced.
Thank you. I think you said it earlier. I just felt like I needed to pay it forward. And so that's why I am in my retirement spending time with ensuring that the fellowship is successful so we can develop confident leaders to change healthcare, not just nursing, but healthcare. So
Exactly.
I'm very, very excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you too, Christine. I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
Elaine,
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yolaine Nozil. I am thrilled to be here to share my experience. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for like 25 years. I've worked at Emory University Hospital on the healthcare side, and I also work on the university side also. I work like as a clinical instructor. So I've been a nurse working as a mental health tech, and then I'm a PhD candidate right now. I've collected a lot of certifications, a lot of participate on a lot of community, but securing a leadership position was very difficult for me. I applied, and then they will tell me that they have other candidates, but I have Dr. Etienne, who is the president of the Florida Nursing Association, who knows me very well most of my career. And then I was part of the Haitian Alliance Nursing Association International. And then when I explained to her what happened, I've been doing all this, and I have the qualifications for a lot of jobs that I needed, I can have within my department. I cannot get them. What's going on? And then she called me. She said, you know what? You need to apply to the NurseTRUST fellowship program to help you enhance your leadership skills. And she sent me the link. Then I applied. And then when I've got a response, I'll get accepted to the program. And then I received a list of the members that is on the program. But when I received the list, I said, wow, a lot of people, that's the mentors, everybody that was there have really high qualifications. But for me, I thought I was just an instructor or a rapid response nurse. So I sent an email to June. I said, June, and this is what I've done. This is the work that I've done. Am I the right person for this? And she replied, yes, you are. Or everybody from the CEO to wherever position that you at, we can learn from each other. That was a great inspiration for me. So I applied, and when we started the course, I was very excited to look at the competencies that we have, the 6 competencies. And one of the competencies that I see that's in there, I'm trying to already evaluate myself to see where I fit on those competencies, what can I learn? But let me tell you, this fellowship program have transformed me significantly, especially when it comes to political savvy. I'm going to tell you one thing about political savvy. When I see political savvy, to me at that time, I thought it was, oh, I don't want to deal with politics. And because politics is dirty, they break it down for me to understand what political savvy means. And it clicked. It's just like my light bulb turned on. I said, well, I didn't know that's what it is. I thought it was something bad, dirty, or was just bad. So when they break it down to me, I start to understand political savvy well, and to understand workplace politics. And also, I was able to gain a lot of understanding when communications and influencing organizational outcome. So through the personalized mentorships and hands-on learning project, I have developed practical tools that have empowered me to foster innovations and to influence key decisions in my workplace. So the fellowship also helped me refine my leadership style along with me to be the more transformed leader in healthcare. So, for example, within 3 weeks in that CCL program that we do online, and then I think one of the fellows tell me, why don't you try to start working on what you learn doing the KCL to see what it is? What can you to just prove yourself if what you learn it's best. So I started to implement what I've learned within that 3 weeks period. Believe it or not, I was so excited to practice it. Within my department, I see it would take too much of a work to start to apply for a leadership program where I was. And I applied for another leadership program, and I've got it within 3 weeks. So I was very excited. So I started a new leadership program as a rapid response nurse on another facility where when I went there, they just started listening to what I've used the tools that I've learned from the KCL program and from the fellowship program. So to make a story short, I will highly, highly recommend anybody to even join the program or join the fellowship program, because that will transform them instantly, and you would not even imagine, because there are things I myself, one of the things that I've noticed on the competencies that the core competency is the self-awareness. So it does really help me identify things that I needed to improve on my skills to help me grow. And with the healthcare system that continue to evolve Right now, the fellowship will equip nurses to lead the changes and shaping the healthcare system. And it offers unparalleled network of support and my mentor, and then the continuous learning that they have, and an invaluable mentorship that we have within the program. And there are times where we need like strong nurses. At this time, this is where we need strong nurse leaders. It's very in high demand right now. The fellowship programs, the skills and connections necessary to make meaningful contributions to healthcare and healthcare equity and transformative transformation to leadership. Especially, I'm very passionate about health disparities. And then without the help to get me to help, to get me the help that I need to be able to approach health disparities or to approach it well on the appropriate way to be on a leadership position. If I wasn't shape myself or transform the way I transform right now, I would not be able to make a difference. But now I think it would help me to make a difference. And then thank you. I really appreciate everyone who was helping me to be the person that I am now. And it does make a difference. Thank you.
Wow, Yolene, congratulations on your progress, such a quick progress. You know, as you have heard from Yolene, she talked about the changes that she saw very quickly in 3 weeks through the Frontline Leader Impact Program. And Kelly spoke about that a little bit earlier. It's a 6-week virtual program that takes about 18 hours, but is a module that involves self-reflection, and it helps you, there are certain outcomes from the Frontline Impact Program to help the individual develop and be more aware of their strengths and where areas of development is required. And as Elaine mentioned, it does help with the ability to communicate more effectively, both verbally and I think non-verbally with your peers and with your supervisors. And yeah, I think the feedback skills that are learned was also discussed by Elaine.
Yeah.
So it is an amazing program.
It is. And then, you know, what was even bringing me down, every places that I go, every work I'm be telling, oh, no, I don't want to deal with politics. And I just like shine away from that. And then people listen to how you talk when you talk, what you said. And then I wasn't even aware if that was what I needed to change on myself.
Yes, that's the other beauty of this program and working with CCL is that we are very real world oriented. I am also always baffled by the thousands of leadership books that are written out there and the organizations that charge, huge amounts of money to go through a leadership course, maybe in 2 days, a week. But our program is an 8-month program, and we do that intentionally to help mentor and evolve our fellows. So, and Yolene, you definitely are showing results very quickly. So
Yes,
very,
yes.
very proud of you.
That was impressive.
So as you can see, Yolene and Christine are very different in terms of their skills and their, I'll use Yolene's terminology, credentials coming in. Christine is a doctorate prepared nurse, and Yolene is, though she has 25 years in nursing, she is a fairly new leader. So regardless of your credentials, the program really, really makes a difference in terms of identifying your strengths and your areas of development for becoming more successful as a leader, not only impacting your organization, but hopefully your community and then nationwide.
Yeah, and then I mentioned, I think earlier somebody meant, there was a questions if they can work full-time, be on the same program. So I've worked full times. I'm doing my PhD now. I'm a PhD candidate. And then I also teach clinical. So I was able to do it. It's very doable. It's very doable.
Very busy. Sounds like a very busy life, but we
Yes.
take into consideration, the real world that, nurses live in these days, nurse leaders live in today. You're doing multiple things. And so we try to be as flexible as we need to be to help you to be successful.
Yes.
So Christine, Mary Lou, Jolene, do you have any last comments before we move on? Okay.
Well, the only comments that I have, just hope that people the awareness, understand. I don't know, in our audience, do we have people that are interested of who's the mentor, or who are those people that's in our audience right now? Are
So
they
you-
sponsors? Are they everybody's sponsors?
So are there other mentors in the audience?
No, things that I wanted to say. I have people that referred me to the program. I didn't have a sponsor. I paid myself, but it's worth it.
Yes. In the future, we are looking at a scholarship program, but we're not quite ready to launch that. So look forward to that in the future. But thank you for your personal investment, Yolaine.
Okay, you're welcome. It's worth it.
I just want to add, and it's from experience as well, that this kind of a leadership program really makes a difference. As Jolene has demonstrated, and Christine as well, it moves you forward at a faster pace than if you had no mentorship or no outside network that helps you steady the course as you achieve your goals and implement a vision. So it really makes a difference.
I think the other
And it's a
beauty,
learning opportunity for the mentors as well.
yes. Leadership is a lifelong learning.
It's a lifelong journey.
Yes, it is. We talked about the benefits of the program, but the one that I really want to articulate is the opportunity to network with all sectors of nurse leaders. And I think Christine did allude to that. Most organizations are single sector. It could be academia, practice, policy. But the beauty of NurseTRUST is that we bring all the nurse sectors together. So practice, academia, policy, public health, community health, and recently business. So we have nurses that are in businesses. One of our members is the medical director for Becton Dickinson. So it's an opportunity to really collaborate together. And that's the only way to move nursing forward and make changes in healthcare that is so required. So at this
And
point, let's
what I want to say, the moderator at the KCL program was very engaged, interactive with us to give us individual feedback. That was very nice, very good.
Yeah, we are so fortunate to collaborate with CCL. They are an international leadership education program. And so they bring a wealth of expertise, knowledge, skills, and again, real world scenarios. So it's not just theoretical, it's real world. So it's very exciting.
And the other thing I want to add is that once a fellow, always a fellow. just because the 8-month period has come to, the learning period has come to an end, as June just mentioned, learning is it's a lifelong journey. So there's the opportunity to maintain ties, to grow them even, and build on the network through your cohort, but then on other cohorts and with the mentors that are participating in the program. So this is just a fellowship that keeps on giving.
Yes. Okay, at this point, let's pause and we'll open it up to the participants. What questions do you have about the Emerging Nurse Leader Program? If you might be considering joining the program, you might be considering being a mentor.
Looks like we have a question from Mary Dawn.
Hi, I'm Mary Dawn Koenig. I'm faculty here at University of Illinois, Chicago. I'm wondering if you can give an example of the projects that come through in terms of scope and any information that you have in terms of the types of projects that the leaders are working on.
I might have Christine and Elaine share their projects, but let me emphasize that we want the projects to be relevant for the fellow and for the organization. That's why we seek to have a sponsor, the fellow to identify a sponsor in an organization so they could be successful in their project. But Christine and Elaine, do you mind sharing your projects?
Yeah, but I think they have us identify our leadership challenge, or whatever challenge you may have. They'll use the core competencies, and then for you every week we have like 6 weeks. We have the self-awareness, and then we have communications a week, the covert a week, and we have what else we have again? Each week on the core competencies that we have previously on the slides, they cover each one of the week. And with your individual leadership challenge, this is how you develop it. And it's very, very, very you get guidance from the beginning of the week.
Thank you.
Mary, to just add to share, I have a project in which I have written a business plan to expand and implement a geriatric verification program, a quality program for seniors who undergo surgeries that's 75 plus. And this is truly an end-to-end integrated care model that I'm putting new as a market, as a leader of the market, but really having some of, as Jolene just kind of mentioned, understanding my opportunities for growth, and that was, to be quite candid, political savviness, just the level of stakeholders that are involved to be able to pull together a verification program for 18 hospitals from the time you schedule somebody to have surgery all the way to discharge, and to have oversight on that from a nursing practice perspective, really brought to a lot of question and highlighted some opportunities of where I might be able to position myself and consider stakeholder perspectives and how to engage with my partners, right, in terms of scalability and implementation, and all of those kind of various implementation considerations. So you will bring to the table, and they will help you in the program to kind of guide together what that might look like. And if you do have an internal sponsor, that's something that I do encourage for you to have alignment in as to what, what's your ROI, right? What do you want to really see from this? And what's a project that you currently have on your portfolio or that's coming down on your portfolio that you might be able to apply some of these learnings and strategies so that you can really put into place what you're learning into an application. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Just to let you know that if you go to the NurseTRUST website, as a member of NurseTRUST, you should be able to access we had 23 fellows in 2023, and their fellowship key leadership challenge are posted on the website. As a member also on the 17th, which is just a couple of days away, you can also join I believe it's a 2.5-hour presentation, a virtual presentation of all the fellows key leadership challenges. And those will be presented in groups of 4. And so if you would like a little bit more detail and some examples from last year and this year, become a member.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? You know, one of the questions that is often asked is, what is expected of a fellow? So I think just to reiterate what Kelly mentioned earlier, we expect the fellow to be fully engaged during the 8-month program. We expect them to attend all program meetings and seminars. And we have, Kelly mentioned trusted conversations. Trusted conversations have a variety of topics. And so we would like to engage the fellows in the trusted conversations, but also as an opportunity for them to meet other members of NurseTRUST also. Developing an individualized key leadership project, we talked about that. And with the mentor experience, we would like the mentors and the mentee to interact minimally once a month, so that becomes a valuable relationship. And then we ask the fellows to complete a final presentation for report, and that's done virtually, but we also give every fellow an opportunity to create a poster presentation and to present it at the following annual summit.
June, we have a question from Allison.
Allison, yes.
Yes, hi. This is Allison Hernandez. I have a follow-up, and I'm sorry, I joined a little late the conversation, so if I missed this, I apologize. I was just wondering if folks who usually apply to the program, are they like, what is this something usually sometimes institutions that they're serving at help fund, or are there scholarship opportunities? I'm in sort of a non-traditional nursing setting. I work for the federal government in the US Senate, and so as a public servant, I'm just, interested to see if there's other ways to apply that could help me monetarily be part of the program. That's one question, but the other question was also if someone like me sort of fits the bill to apply for a program like this, since I am working in a maybe non-traditional environment when it comes to nursing leadership.
Right, you're definitely qualified to apply and be part of the fellowship. And we do have members that are where their focus is policy. And so we would definitely be able to find suitable mentors for you within our membership. In terms of the financial assistance, I would say probably the majority of fellows do seek assistance from their organization. And Elaine is probably an exception. She paid out of pocket, but she did say that it was a very, very worthwhile program. And as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at developing a scholarship program, but we're not quite ready to launch because developing a scholarship program requires, very keen awareness of the legal ramifications. And so that may not occur until maybe the following, not the 2025, but perhaps 2026 program. So unfortunately, we do not have a program to help fund fellows.
Thank you. That's really helpful. I appreciate it.
I was going to say that Christmas is coming up. You can seek out family members and friends for a small gift to help you.
I'll fundraise myself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the complication, or I guess I realize sometimes institutions are supporting their nurse leaders so that they can keep that professional development, and it's seen as part of the general rise, in the profession. And in my case, I my office wouldn't be able to do that for me, so it would have to be personal. So I was just curious, but thank you for being transparent about that. And it's good to know that there are mentors that could be well aligned with my area of work. So thanks for clarifying that too.
Well, good luck, and feel free to reach out if you have additional questions. Any other questions? Okay, then we'll move on. I want to thank Christine, Yelena, Mary Lou for sharing their experiences with the program. And they truly exemplify NurseTRUST's vision of amplifying nurse leaders' impact on health equity and health care. There are many opportunities to be engaged with NurseTRUST. And the one on this slide is with the American Academy of Nursing Conference that will be taking place in Washington, D.C. And if you are attending the AANC conference, you can, and if you'd like to join the NurseTRUST gathering, just note the link here, nursetrust.memberclicks.net 2024. Is it NT for NurseTRUST reception? Yeah. Just got that. Alrighty, and then we talked about the annual summit quite a few times during this webinar. So we are having our annual summit in 2025 at the Embassy Suites in Charlotte, North Carolina. And every year we have a different theme, and our theme this year is Nurse Leaders in Action, Discover, Inspire, and Impact. And the topics are noted on the bottom of the slide. As you can see, technology, the infamous artificial intelligence and innovation is a huge focus. We would like to focus on innovative methods of care delivery and meeting the needs of special populations, shifting the paradigm in nursing, innovations in recruiting nursing students, nursing education, nurse staffing, and retention strategies of the nursing workforce. Always a focus of ours is health equity, the culture of health and generational strategies, creative and innovative approaches to wellness, resilience, and community and capacity building in the nursing workforce, and self-discovery and emotional intelligence to build nursing leadership that contributes to positively transforming nurses and nursing communities. If you are interested, I believe we're still accepting poster presentations. If you would like to share any work that you are doing at this meeting, you can again go to our NurseTRUST website and complete the application to present a poster. Okay, and our website has an abundance of resources, including a link to apply for the fellowship, a link to become a member, and upcoming trusted conversations. And there's a lot more information at our website. Some of the links in the website are only for members, but there are quite a bit of information for non-members. So please go to nursetrust.org. So again, we encourage you to apply or nominate a colleague to apply for the upcoming Emerging Nurse Leader Program as soon as possible, because this deadline is approaching very quickly, November 11th. And any additional questions or comments? We got done a little earlier. We got
Great
Katie.
job, June and team.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, it's good to see all these emerging leaders.
And you are one too, Carol.
Oh, well, I'm probably still emerging.
We are all emerging.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Correct, yes. So thank you for attending today's webinar, and I hope it's been informative, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.